All right, guys, let's talk about the Stoker Twig stove or backpacking stove from Überleben. Thanks for joining us here at Gear 43, and I'm Luke, and I've been reviewing this Stoker for the past almost 3 to 4 weeks now, and let me tell you, I love this stove. It does come from Überleben. They gifted it to us, but I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts and reviews. So if you're interested, if this is for you, stick around to the end, and I'm gonna go through the pros and the cons and who this thing is for. It's not exactly for everybody. All right, well guys, let's talk about what this is. If you're like me, I love things like this. I'm curious about it, so let's dive in. First of all, it comes with a really nice accessory, and that is the wax canvas sleeve. It's got a Velcro opening right here, and I'm actually gonna walk you through. You can see mine's dirty. I've used it quite a bit in the past 3 weeks, and so you just open that guy up, and here come the 5 panels. These 5 panels are actually made from 304 stainless steel. This one I'm gonna get a little bit mocked for it, and I'm okay with that. It's the Kuchen Grill X, and it's made to sit on top. I'm gonna assemble this really quickly for you. I love the thick steel of this one and the design. So it comes with the 5 panels. You can see them right here. And here is your bottom plate. They took the extra time to stamp and brand that bottom plate. So you can see that there's holes through the bottom plate, through the side panels here, to get the right kind of airflow. So let's just assemble this guy really quick. I'm gonna set that there, and I'm gonna grab one panel. Now, if you have a way of doing this that's better than me, please let me know. Because there's probably somebody out there who's like, oh, that's the worst way to assemble these things. Or there's just a good tip to do it. But when you're in the rain, or when you're in the snow, and you're cold, and your fingers are hurting, and you wanna get a fire going, I've done this before, it can be way harder to assemble. So I'm gonna put those 3 panels together, and then I'm gonna take this guy right here. See, I like how in these joints, actually, we'll get into what I like about later, but I'm gonna take these 3 panels right here, and I am going to put them together. And then we'll grab the resistance, we'll grab the top plate here, and we'll put this guy, trying to hold it so that you can see it and not me, and that's a little bit more clumsy. But so this is one thing that is nice about it. It fits together really well, and then as it is assembled, you can grab your top plate grill, put it on there. So this also comes in amazing colors, and this is probably my least favorite. It's the most typical. It comes in like a black and a blue, and that's not the right name, but check it out. They're absolutely the coolest colors I've ever seen. The black one is so sick. Well, let's talk about a couple things that I think you're gonna like about it. I mean, I'm not sure how you could not like this about it. One is a lot with these Twig stoves, backpacking stoves, where you're gonna be burning organic materials, pine cones, brush, twigs. You have your little feeder hole right here, so you get the fire going. You keep the limbs kind of stuffed in there, but the ventilation on this one, I was actually really impressed with. My first go around with this was up on a slope in the rain and wind, and if you've ever tried to start a fire, even like a Jetboil or other products like that, it can be difficult sometimes to get that fire going. This one ventilated really well. I was using kind of wet, soggy materials anyways, and it kept a nice fire going. So here's the other thing that I really like about the Stoker from Überleben is the construction, the 304 stainless steel, but more so than that is just the design. They have these beveled panels, even up here at the feeder port, they've got these beveled panels. I've used many before that have warped, and to try to get them together is a problem. And then when they are together, when you move them around like that, there's too much play. They can disassemble as you're trying to move it, or things like that. So the joints are loose, but not too tight also. So I really like how this is holding up. As you start burning stuff in here, the metal, like cheaper metals, can start to warp with the extreme heat and temperatures that's happening. I know sometimes I've like lit a fire and then needed to go, so I'll be at the lake or something. I'll just like dunk it in the water to cool it off so I can put it back in the pouch. And this one has had no warping. It's almost exactly the same as the first opening. Really like that about it. The other thing that I really like about it is actually the waxed canvas sleeve. I'm kind of a sucker for canvas and leather products, and man, this waxed canvas, it's a nice feel, it's thick, it's not gonna slide around a lot in your bag because it kind of grips. This thing is pretty nice. It's, like I said, it's got the Velcro opening, and they actually call this, Überleben calls this their foraging pouch. And so if you have if your materials are gathering are kind of far away, you can use this to put your sticks and pine cones and all that stuff in. Great idea, brilliant thought, love it. One last thing I gotta mention is I'm not gonna say it right, the Kukin Grill X Grate. This thing is amazing. I've used other stoves that have like cross members that just like two, they fit over that, and you can't actually really cook on that because stuff's gonna fall through. You can do, they're more meant for like pots, but those I've used before where they've fallen off. This guy, if you look right here, I'll let you get right in here really quick. If you look right here, these fit so well. It's not going anywhere. All right, well, let's talk about what I don't like. And this is not gonna, I just wanna say, this is not gonna apply maybe to everyone out there. I totally understand that. I keep this in my hunting pack. I also use it when I'm skiing sometimes. I use it when I'm hiking. I use it when I'm doing like long distance runs through like the trail running, stuff like that. So the name of the game sometimes is less weight. And now this has I think it's like 15 ounces roughly, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But it's a little bit on the heavier side than others that I've used. And it's not like the company doesn't know that. They know that. That's what comes with having really good materials like this grate and the 304 thick stainless steel. It's a trade-off game. But if you need something lighter, this is, or less bulky, this might not be for you. The bulky and kind of weightiness of this bag also might be a problem for you if you're looking for like ultra light. That's not going to be this. But if you want a workhorse of a twig fed stove, backpacking stove, this is your guy. Well, man, you've got to see it. Let's talk about who this is for. In my opinion, I could be totally wrong, but I think this is for everybody. I really do, because it kind of can do it all. You could also, if you wanted to drop a bit of weight, you could take this guy out, leave it at home if you're not gonna be using that. I would love to see some accessories from the company, maybe a couple bars that are lighter weight so you could still boil on that without carrying this amazing grate that I can't pronounce the name of. But I would also like to see this, like maybe if this came out with a lighter pouch, that would help too. But if you want something that is going to withstand everything that's going through and perform really well, I think this is for you. If you are someone who wants ultra lightweight, this is not gonna be your guy. But I do recommend picking this up anyways because it is just a great product. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out here at Gear 43 and sticking through the whole video. I hope that this was helpful for you. And if you know the right way to pronounce the grate, let us know. I'd love to work on saying that correctly. But if you could, if you found this helpful and you know which stove you're gonna get next, just go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. It helps us out a lot. And we'll see you on the next one.